Hi everyone, do you want to trio a hidden wave with no special towers and a very easy strategy? This strategy is for you. The strategy is called Colin 3 Peace Sign Strategy. FYI, make sure you disable skill tree to trigger hidden wave and join Paradoxum group for extra $100. And don't forget to type 120-1009 in the chat to trigger hidden wave. Now on to the strategy. Player 1 needs farm, ranger, any DPS such as accelerator, golden minigunner, rocketeer, pursuit or turret, freezer, and rocketeer. Player 1 is responsible for getting the game to 1 HP. Place 6 level 2 farms. Place a level 0 back freezer and use that freezer to get Fallen Squire to 99 HP. That way, when it leaks, you have 1 HP, which is needed for Hidden Wave. And then place 2 level 2 Rocketeers after the leak. Get 1 level 2 mid-game freezer. Get a total of 8 level 3 farms. Get 8 level 2 Rocketeers total. Max all farms, max all rocketeers, place 7 max rangers, spam max DPS, spam, and then in the hidden wave, spam and micro freezes all the time. And make sure you micro DPS when you can. As you can see in this footage, we did die because we did not micro early enough. But we were very close, meaning if we microed early enough, we could have won. Player 2 needs farm, ranger, DPS. DPS can be accelerator, golden minigunner, rocketeer, pursuit or turret, electroshocker, and commander. Place 1 level 1 farm and then place 1 level 2 electroshocker. Get a total of 5 level 2 farms. Now note that if you need to sell electroshocker for Fallen Squire to get 99 HP, then you can, as I did here. But after that, place it back and make sure Electroshocker is level 3. Get 8 level 3 farms total. Upgrade Electroshocker to level 4. Max all farms. Place 3 level 3 commanders. Spam max DPS. Place 7 max rangers. Max all commanders. Now during the hidden wave, get a total of 4 level 5 electroshockers around the map. Micro DPS when they're out of range. Use APCs all the time. Keep chaining. When a fallen king is like halfway through the map, I suggest to start placing them at the back island. Player 3 needs farm, ranger, DPS. DPS can be accelerator, golden minigunner, pursuit, turret or rocketeer, medic, and DJ. Place 1 level 3 medic. Get 8 level 3 farms total. Sell medic before wave 7 ends. Specifically, right before Squire is at 100 HP. And by the way, do not place any more medics before wave 40. Place 2 level 0 rangers. Get 1 level 3 DJ on green. Max all farms. Max DJ. Get 7 max rangers. Spam max DPS. Set DJ to red at wave 39. Now during the hidden wave, spam medics and use ability whenever there's a stun. And micro DPS when you need to. And I highly suggest you micro DPS, especially when Fallen King is at least halfway through the map. If you can move them at the back island, then you should win. As you can see in this footage, we nearly won, but we lost. But if we had microed earlier, we could have won. And that is how you beat Hidden Wave in Trio. I'm about to play all gameplay footage, but yeah.